My name is Dan Meisler. I'm the Communications Coordinator at IRIS, which is the Institute for Research on Innovation and Science. And welcome to the Vendor Profile Report. The goal of this report is to show the many ways that your university research enterprise stimulates the economy through contracts with vendors and subcontractors. To get to the report, go to our website, which is iris.isr.umich.edu, and then click on the blue Member Portal button up here. That will take you to a dashboard, which has links to various reports. Just click on the Vendor Profile Report, and you'll get to the first screen that looks like this. For this demo, we're using data from the University of Michigan, and it's important to remember that your data will probably look quite different. For this report, we've broken down your university's data on research-related spending several different ways, including by contracts awarded to various types of businesses, by geographic concentration, and by specific industries. As always, you can download the underlying data by clicking the Download Data link right here. You can download the entire report as a PDF by clicking here. And you can share this report with colleagues by clicking on the Share Report function. One thing is important to remember, that the spending included in this report is a subset of your total spending that we were able to match with our data partners, Bureau Van Dijk's Orbis data set. So the way we're able to get all this rich information about your data is through matching it with the Orbis data set. We're not able to match 100%. Therefore, the report does not represent all of your university's research spending. And for details on that, you can see the methodology section right here. I'm now going to hand it off to Carl, who will take you through the first page of the report. Thank you.
The report starts with some highlights of your university's research-related spending, including the cumulative totals and the number of vendors that were small businesses or owned by women or minorities. Year-by-year totals for small, woman-owned, and minority-owned businesses can be seen by moving this bar from year to year. The line charts on the left show annual spending as well as the number of vendor establishments that received research-related spending for each different type of business by year. The radar charts on the right compare your university's spending with those of other IRIS member universities that have provided data. For example, in 2018, a slightly smaller percentage of the University of Michigan's research-related spending went to smaller businesses, approximately 4%, than other IRIS member universities, which is about 5%. But University of Michigan had a higher percentage of spending with women-owned businesses than that of other IRIS member universities.
The second page of the IRIS vendor report is the Vendor Location and Industry tab. This page shows where spending occurred geographically, as well as industries that received research-related spending. Data on this tab covers the most recent calendar year of data available. When first loading the page, we can see a NAICS level selector, a map on the left, and a flower chart on the right. The report is at the 2-digit NAICS level by default, but 3- and 4-digit NAICS are selectable for additional granularity. The map shows the distribution of spending geographically by state, with each state's bubble sized based on the amount of spending in that state. Hovering over each bubble, you can see the spending amount for each state. The flower chart shows the top 5 industries by spending. The petals are sized by the amount of spending, and much like the map, you can hover over them to see the exact amount. By default, these figures are national. We can also get to more granular information geographically, though. Clicking on a state's bubble will zoom into that state, replacing the national map with a state map showing spending by county. And now on the right side, we have two petal charts. The leftmost chart still shows spending, now at the state level. The petal chart on the right shows the top industries based on the employee location quotient for that state. Location quotients are measures put out by the Bureau of Labor Statistics that compare local economic measures to the national average. If the employee location quotient in a given state is greater than 1, it means that industry employs a greater share of the state's population than the national average. In practice, this can be used to quickly get a feel for what industries are the major employers important to an area and see if your university spends a large amount in that industry. For example, manufacturing is a major employer in Michigan because it has the location quotient of greater than 1. And manufacturing is also one of the top industries that U of M spent money in during the previous calendar year. Then, just like how we zoomed into state, we can click on one of the counties in the map and all of the figures update. So now they are at the county level. You can return to state or national figures by clicking on these buttons here. Finally, we have the industry impact visualization. This maps your university's research directly to the location quotients mentioned above. The bubbles represent all industries with spending and are sized based on the spending amount, then organized left to right by location quotient. Hovering over each bubble shows the industry and the spending amount. This visualization can use establishment count location quotient or the annual pay location quotient in addition to the employee location quotient. These all work the same way, but highlight industries that have larger numbers of companies than the national average or higher pay than the national average, respectively. And you can select between them using the dropdown. This visualization can also be filtered geographically and can also go down to the 3 or 4 digit NAICS level as well by using the selectors above. So if we wanted to, we could select 4-digit NAICS, select Washtenaw County, and now we would see we have the spending for Washtenaw County by 4-digit NAICS laid out by location quotient as well.
The goal of the industry revenue analysis page is to understand the effects your university's vendor spending and subcontracts have on the economic bottom line of companies in a particular industry. This page also shows the amount of research spending received by small businesses as well as by minority and women-owned businesses. I will now explain how the Sunburst chart works and how this chart can be used to achieve this goal. As seen in the table for the University of Michigan, the educational services industry is the sector that has received the most research spending. You can use the Sunburst chart and the table to further drill down to different levels of aggregation. By clicking on the innermost ring, you will see the top level aggregation of 2-digit NAICS. You can further go to a more detailed level by clicking on the middle ring, which represents 3-digit NAICS codes. Also observe how the sectors in the table are also highlighted as we click on the different rings in the Sunburst. You can drill down to the outermost and most detailed level of aggregation, that is up to 4-digit NAICS codes. This table at the right is interactive too. You can use it to click on different industry titles, and those specific titles will be highlighted in the Sunburst. If you scroll a bit below the Sunburst chart, you will see the industry highlights. This section shows for the industry you select on the Sunburst or on the table, the amount of research spending received by small businesses, by minority and women-owned businesses.